Welcome to this week's episode of Weirdos Like Me. I am your chief weirdo, Dr. Shannon. Today's episode is all about adaptability, particularly about the adaptability of your nervous system, because your nervous system is what allows you to take in your environment and perceive your world. Your nervous system is like an antenna, constantly searching for outside signals, and then it takes those signals and it figures out what to do with them and how to respond. Of course, it also sends out signals so that other people know how to respond, but we can get to that later if I remember. If not, it'll be a topic for another podcast. So we've all heard that cliche saying that the only constant in life is change, right? If the last couple of years has taught me anything personally, it's that you never know what you're going to encounter in life. You can have the best laid plans, but your plans can change. And sometimes they change completely unexpectedly, and then you just have to figure it out. So do you need to be happy in response to what's going on? Do you need to be scared? Do you need to start prepping your body for a fight? Do you need to be chilled out and relaxed? Your nervous system is what's figuring this out for you before you're even consciously aware of the emotion that you should or shouldn't be feeling. According to dictionaries, stress is defined as physical, mental, or emotional strain or tension, or here comes a real technical definition, guys, but also defined as a condition or feeling experienced when a person perceives that demands exceed the personal and social resources that the individual is able to mobilize. Real fancy words for basically saying that the demand required from the body is more than what you can give, or something like that, right? Like that's the normal terms for it. However, the originator of the word stress was Hans Selye, and he created this word and defined it in 1936. And he defined stress as the non-specific response of the body to any demand for change. So if you guys catch this, the word stress did not begin with the intention of it being negative. However, over the years, we've adapted a negative connotation to the word stress. Stress can actually be good for us. In fact, if it weren't for stress, we would never grow. We would never evolve. I mean, like literally, we would never grow. Think about your muscles. How do they get stronger? Our muscles get stronger by encountering forces that at a particular moment cause the muscles to meet a demand higher than what it's equipped for at that time, right? So doing this over and over and over again causes your muscles to get stronger. Same with building strong bones. Contrary to the popular marketing belief, you do not build strong bones by drinking more cow's milk. In reality, you build strong bones by allowing your body to encounter forces that cause some type of stress on the bones so that they can remodel and build to meet that demand. This is why weightlifting is amazing for everybody, not just for people who are trying to bulk up or for bodybuilders. It's amazing for everyone. One of the best things you can do for your bone health over time and to help prevent osteoporosis and prevent weak, brittle bones is to lift weights. I don't mean you have to be benching 500 pounds a day when you're 75 years old, although, more power to you if you can. But even lifting just a few pounds per day, several days a week can help keep your bones healthy as you age. If we thought about all weightlifting as being a stressor and we told people to never lift, you need to, don't stress your muscles out, don't stress your bones out, just sit on the couch all day, don't move, don't bend, don't lift, then what's going to happen? You actually get weaker over time. Stress can be helpful and stress can be good because it's required for growth. And when we're talking about emotional stress, to a degree, it can help you actually accomplish more. However, there is an ebb and a flow to this, right? You want just enough stress over your comfort threshold to push you to grow and to evolve and to adapt. But you don't want the level of stress overflowing over that threshold to the point where you can't keep up and that you can't handle the stress in a healthy way. So how do you determine where your personal threshold for good and bad stress is? Have you ever noticed that the same stressor can affect two different people in two completely different ways? One person can encounter a stressor and that person thinks to themselves, well, this sucks. It's not ideal, but let's figure out how to deal with it, right? What do we do? Let's find solutions. And then another person may encounter that same exact thing and they become paralyzed from fear and from anxiety. And that paralysis doesn't allow them to even be able to get to the level of thinking and solution brainstorming. Solution brainstorming, is that even a word? I don't know. So anyway, what if I told you that you actually have control over this threshold and where it sits for you? We each have kind of what I like to think of as our personal thermostat, and you and I are way more in control of our limits than what we've been led to believe. So before we actually get into how to adjust your thermostat and how to move that threshold, we do need to take charge and try to consciously reduce the amount of negative stressors that our bodies are exposed to. I'm not just talking about emotional stress or the type of stress that we think about when we hear stress. I mean all stressors, right? So what we're taking in terms of food, toxins, our sleep levels, all of those type of things count as stressors too. So yeah, it would be nice if we could all just sit and lounge in a beach chair all day, sipping Mai Tais, reading our favorite books all day long without any bills to pay. However, last I checked, most of us do require a job, or we have to work in some type of way. We have families, we have kids, coworkers, bills, traffic jams, classes to get to, board exams to pass, et cetera, et cetera. So unless you're living in a treehouse in the middle of the forest, eating the bark off of trees, although I guess if you were living in a tree house that requires the tree for stability, you couldn't eat the tree bark because that would be a stressor too. But anyway, eating nothing but the grass, we'll go with that. Eating nothing but grass that grows around the tree house, then you are going to encounter some type of stress in your life. Now, we can't always control the types of stressors that our bodies are exposed to. Sometimes life just happens even when we do our absolute best. However, we can change and we can affect how our bodies respond to those stressors. And guys, it's easier than you think. You want to know the secret to changing how your body responds to stressors? Here it is. You guys know I'm a chiropractor, right? You probably know what I'm about to say. Get adjusted. People think that seeing a chiropractor and getting adjusted is something you just do every once in a while to help with your back pain and to help with your neck pain and maybe headaches. Now, does it help with back pain and neck pain and headaches? Yeah, it does. Is it all that it does? No. See, the reason that getting adjusted can help with back and neck pain is because it allows your nervous system to communicate better with the rest of your body. It allows you to become more adaptable, and your body is better able to heal itself. And hold on, I'm about to take this a step further. There are certain versions of chiropractic and techniques that specifically fine-tune your nervous system and allow your body to build greater adaptability every time you get adjusted. I want you to think of these types of chiropractic adjustments as the equivalent to when you upgrade your iPhone software. Every time you fine-tune and upgrade your nervous system, it can deal with and respond to its surroundings in a much, much healthier way. Knowing that you can affect how your body deals with stressors is life-changing. Life-changing. If you tuned out earlier when I started talking about tree houses and grass and tree bark, tune back in right now, because seriously, this is a game changer. So essentially, does your body encounter a stressor and use the unbound available energy in your body to deal with that stressor, to move that energy around, move the energy through your system, which, you might be slightly taken aback by the stressor, but you're not debilitated. You're not over the top anxious. You're not sick and diseased. Or is your body so wound with previous stress and previous trauma that hasn't been dealt with in a healthy way, so that when you encounter another stressor, your body and your nervous system has no flexibility. It can't be resilient. Instead, it takes a hit, and then you can get sick, diseased, maybe excessively anxious, depressed, or figuratively paralyzed from our fears and anxiety. And not only can we not deal with the stressor at hand, but then you can't deal with any stressor, and you can actually become sick and ill and have chronic diseases. arise from it. Same thing when you're talking about why can two people encounter the same bacteria or virus and one person becomes ill while the other person doesn't? Or maybe that second person gets a little ill, but they get, a runny nose, a mild cough, and then in a day or two, they're over it. And that's because their immune systems have different thresholds for what they can deal with in a healthy way. And no, again, contrary to popular belief, the threshold for your nervous system is not entirely genetic. The threshold of your immune system is also highly influenced by the threshold of your nervous system, because guess what's helping control your immune system? If you said your nervous system, then congratulations, you're correct. I would give you a prize, but I don't have any. So sorry, you just get the pride of being correct. So yes, I can and I will personally do everything in my power to reduce the negative stressors in my life, including reducing stress from unhealthy, chemical-laden, highly processed foods, chemicals in the water that I'm drinking, pesticides in the foods that I'm eating, making sure I get plenty of movement and exercise in, because not moving and not exercising is actually toxic for your brain and body. And also reducing the toxins that we tend to think about normally, right? Like things like our lotion, shampoos, makeup, the things we put on us count as toxins as well. So yes, I'm going to consciously reduce that, but I know that I don't live in a bubble wrap world, right? Like I can control the air quality inside my home to a certain degree by getting things like air purifiers and air filters, but I can't control what I'm breathing in as soon as I step outside of my door. And I know that I can control the level of pesticides that I'm ingesting at home by controlling the food that I bring in and making sure that I purchase organic food as much as possible and not, eating as many processed things. But I can't control everything that I'm ingesting when I go out. Right now, yes, I can't control how often I'm eating out, but there is a time and a place for eating out. And let's be real, like you, again, don't live in bubble wrap. You don't live in a glass world. I don't know what I'm saying. You guys know what I'm saying, right? So am I going to let myself feel guilty and stress myself out over the fact that I am eating something that is a stressor to my body? Yes, actually, I probably will. Just kidding. But basically, no, I am not going to super stress about it, because I know that I do so many good things for my body, and that I do the number one thing to make my nervous system flexible and adaptable, which is get adjusted. And that allows me to take a breath and know that my body has the best ability to deal with that stressor in a positive way as I can let it. Now, here's the thing. Is getting adjusted and caring for your nervous system an excuse to eat like crap, to never move, never exercise, to expose yourself to every toxin on the planet on purpose? Again, no, it's not an excuse to abuse your body. It is, however, the absolute best and easiest thing you can do to make sure your body can deal with the things that you can't control. I mean, what is easier than laying down on a chiropractic table and getting adjusted? My 2.5-year-old does it. She asks for adjustments. And if we don't have a table, she literally lays down on the floor and says, "Mama, adjustment." It's really cute. But anyway, the point of me sharing that is that it's easy, right? Now, since we're on the subject of laying down on a chiropractic table, lots of people tell me that after they get adjusted, they feel sleepy, or they're really relaxed, or they feel, way more chilled out. And this is why, because your nervous system is actually being recharged. And through the adjustment, all of that bound up tension and energy that we talked about, all of that stuff that your nervous system has been holding on to is being released and moved around so that your body can use that energy for other more important, better things. Let's be real. There's only so much energy that your system can hold on to and process at any given moment. Why waste that on bound up tension that translates into pain and disease? Why not free up crappy energy in our system to make room for all the other possibilities that are out there? Why not make room for joy, make room for happiness, for excitement, for growth? I don't know what's in store for you necessarily as an individual, nor do I even know what's in store for me, right? But I do know that if our nervous systems are shut down and if our nervous systems are cut off from possibility, then there is absolutely no chance to experience anything more. So why not give it the chance? Personally, I don't know where I would be without a constant journey of working on my nervous system's adaptability. Well, no, I actually do know where I would be. I can say that if I haven't, or hadn't, I should say, been getting adjusted specifically in a way that fine tunes my nervous system and have been working on upgrading my body, Lord, words, guys, my body's system software, then there are things and situations, especially in these last couple of years, that I would have encountered that I don't think I could have handled in a healthy way. The state that I was in prior to working on my nervous system just wouldn't have had a threshold high enough to allow my body to respond and recover well. My body is now better able to adapt and overcome much larger stressors now than I could even 5 years ago because my system is more adaptable. Personally, I think it's more important now than ever that we create adaptability within ourselves because our world is less stable than it used to be. So we need to be able to roll with the punches, whatever those punches may be. Hopefully they're not huge punches, but again, you never know. So you might as well prep your system, make your nervous system strong and adaptable as much as you can. So as we wrap up today's episode, remember that we should try to best limit our body's exposure to stressors. But hey, when life throws you lemons, make sure you have a great chiropractor. Haha. Okay. Terrible joke. I know. I also feel like that joke should be followed with one of those, oh my gosh, what is it? It's like the hashtag, if you know things, right? So, because it's actually true. So anyway, guys, that's a wrap for today's episode of Weirdos Like Me. I'm going to be signing off and I will see you next week.